Welcome to the 47th Annual Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. For those of you that might have missed it, my name is Katie White, and I'm the administrator of the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. This ceremony honors Central Ohio older adults who enrich the quality of lives for others. Reviewing these nominations every year is one of our staff's favorite opportunities, and it truly is an honor to learn about and share the incredible accomplishments of inductees. At COAAA, we host the Hall of Fame to not only honor older adults, but also as our way to celebrate Older Americans Month each May. So every year there's a theme, and this year's is Aging Unbound. It took me a second, and I had to Google around a little bit to really understand, but what this Aging Unbound theme is about is really encouraging the exploration of diverse aging experiences and discussions, and really challenging each other to think about how communities can combat aging stereotypes. As our society continues to age, it is crucial that we recognize and celebrate how we all benefit from older adults in our community. A line from one of the nominations read, "They are dedicated to serving others while asking nothing in return." And this line really struck me because it's so valuable and so true. I've worked in human services for the last 16 years, and I've personally seen and benefited from the dedication, passion, and unconditional giving of volunteers of all ages. But really, volunteers that are older adults contribute the most amount of volume in volunteering as well as support in the community. And so when you think about how much they contribute, you realize they really are the foundation of our community. We're fortunate to live among all of you, our friends, our family, our neighbors, and it's such a great joy to highlight the work that you do today. So if you'll indulge me, I'm going to put a little twist on a common saying. Older adults, may we know them, may we thank them, and may we be them. I encourage you to read about the tremendous work in each inductee's biography, which can be found in today's printed event program, as well as on our website and our Facebook page. Before we get into the whole program, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Director Bernita Reese. She is the Director of Columbus City Recreation and Parks. She joined as the Director in 2022, but has a long history of leadership in recreation and parks across the U.S. She has experience in public, private, military, and recreation, and has implemented programs that have had a lasting impact in the community. It's my pleasure to introduce Director Reese.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm like the old Baptist person, got to get a little feedback. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, there we go. That's that recreator in me. It is great seeing everyone, as we talk about the Hall of Fame luncheon. It's always a good thing as my parents, and I talked about it a little bit last year, they're 85, and as my mom says, 38 backwards. And so, on behalf of the department, we're excited to host the annual luncheon, Hall of Fame luncheon, as we honor the 14 inductees. There were 11 and then 3 couples. And so I'm always making sure we include the couples together. And so, it's really one of those things that we are excited about. But our honorees have shown that they truly, truly believe in the connectivity of people through their continued service. And so when you talk about service and the longevity of service, that's something that often you don't see from young people, but we're so glad that we still have people who are giving. We go about our daily chores. I go about my daily chores often without even giving any consideration of the impact of one's limitations, whether it be they're limited on transportation, limited in their physical disabilities, or what we see so often now is the emotional and mental health. This teaches us that during the pandemic, it taught us to share. We found ourselves caring about people more. We found ourselves spending time with our family more. We found ourselves really kind of just communicating and really congregating as better people. Don't change that, because we're slowly going back into our regular routines, and that is fast-paced, not talking, not spending time. I think during the pandemic, we couldn't go out to restaurants, so we cooked more. We sat down at tables. We had family dinners more. Think about just here within the last month, how often have we sat down and done that? So it's something to just keep going. Each of our actions started prior to the pandemic, and these honorees have continued this action way before, and they're continuing to do it daily. So I say thank you, because we couldn't do this without you all. It's really tremendous and hard work to give of oneself and to serve people that you know and that you don't know. So we just appreciate all that you do, your service, your continued support throughout Central Ohio, because it's not just Franklin County. This is about Ohio. And so all that you bring. We would just like to say thank you to our sponsors, Metagold, for their support for the COAAA Hall of Fame Luncheon. And thank you, and I hope that you enjoy this program. And I will turn this back over to Katie White.
Thank you, Director. It is my pleasure to welcome our Master of Ceremonies, Colleen Marshall. Colleen, oh, yeah, wow. Colleen is an Emmy-winning journalist and anchor for NBC4. She anchors the 6, 7, and 11 p.m. newscasts, as well as NBC4's political program, The Spectrum. We thank Colleen for her longtime participation with our program and for her work toward building awareness and advocating for aging issues. In addition to all of the great work she does with us, she also hosts the annual Journey Through Alzheimer's program. She was recently awarded the YWCA Women of the Year, Women of Achievement, there we go, and has been a longtime sponsor of this special. So thank you so much. We're so appreciative that you're here with us to celebrate our wonderful accomplishments of today's honorees. So now another round of applause for Colleen Marshall.
I was trying to remember which side I was allowed to enter on. Good afternoon, everyone. This is always one of my favorite events of the year to do. When I started this, doing this, I was not a senior citizen, but now I am. So I think I can relate more. And I often think when I come to events like this, we are seeing such massive growth right now in Central Ohio, the only region in the state that really is growing and expanding economically, socially, culturally, and all of that is built on the foundation laid by the people who end up in this Hall of Fame, who have done so much to help build this community and lay the groundwork for the success and progress that we're seeing today. So congratulations to all of you ahead of time. There are 14 older adults who will be honored today for exceptional contributions to Central Ohio. And this is the 47th Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. These inductees represent 8 different counties: Delaware, Fairfield, Fayette, Franklin, Licking, Madison, Pickaway, and Union. And as Katie mentioned, each inductee will be escorted to the podium by their county commissioner or a county representative. And as they join me, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the reasons why they ended up in this Hall of Fame. Each county commissioner can also say a few words about our inductee, and then the inductee, if he or she wants to, can say a few words themselves. Never pass up the opportunity to say a few words if you get it. And we are going to begin today with Franklin County. Roger Pry is going to be escorted today by County Commissioner Kevin Boyce. Shortly after retiring from teaching at the age of 55, Roger Pry started volunteering for Meals on Wheels program through Life Care Alliance. He delivered meals in Columbus's Linden neighborhood and Canal Winchester. Not only does Roger drive the miles and put in the steps going door to door to deliver meals to homebound residents, he is instrumental in recruiting new volunteers for Meals on Wheels. He loves volunteering for the program. It allows him to continue helping people in retirement, and he can check on individuals who may not otherwise have a support system. It's so important. Additionally, Roger is the first permanent deacon in the Diocese of Columbus. He was ordained in 1975. For 47 years, during most of his time as a full-time teacher, he served 2 parishes, St. Augustine and Gabriel Parish in Linden and St. John in Canal, Winchester. He recently retired as being a deacon. He's been very busy, so congratulations to Roger Pry. Kevin?
Thanks, Colleen. And you took all my daggone talking points, so I'm not sure I can add much about Roger. But let me just say, on behalf of my colleagues, John O'Grady and Erica Crawley, myself, Kevin Boyce, we're just thrilled to be able to recognize Roger for his leadership and work. When I think about how Franklin County was created on the west bank of the Scioto River, a man by the name of Lucas Sullivan was surveying the land in Central Ohio, and they decided to name Franklin County after Ben Franklin. And the idea there was around public service and innovation. And so we recognize you and honor your work because it's part of the legacy of Central Ohio, part of the history of Franklin County. And so thank you for your work. Thank you for your continued legacy of building. And don't think for 1 second this is over. I mean, you've got more work to do. We expect more. Finally, I'll just say, my grandmother, who was very special to me, was a recipient of Meals on Wheels. And I know for a fact that was a part of her happiness. I know Councilman Remy understands this. That was a part of her happiness very much, receiving those meals, talking to people on a day-to-day basis, and just having that engagement. So God bless you and thank you, and what a well-deserving recognition.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I mean, I've enjoyed doing this it's been almost 30 years. One of the things I learned soon on was how important it was for somebody to go into the homes, especially those who are living by themselves. And there's some contact there. And there's been several times I've walked in and found people on the floor and couldn't get up. So I think it's a very important ministry. There's the church part coming out. And I encourage anybody that knows somebody that would like to deliver meals. It's really a lot of fun and important. But as far as Canal Winchester goes, since we started that route, my wife has been right there with me. And she's been there every day. She drives. And now that my knees are a little arthritic, if there's many steps, so she'll do a couple of those meals for me. But I couldn't do it without her. And the last thing I wanted to say is in the biography, there was a whole empty column. And I have 6 daughters, and they were complaining to me because I didn't mention to them, but 4 of them are back there with and the son of my oldest daughter. So thank you for everything. Bye.
6 daughters, he should get an award just for that. I have to tell you a very quick story. I've told this before, but I always think of it when someone mentions Meals on Wheels. When my mom was in the early stages of Alzheimer's, my sister was very concerned that she wasn't eating properly, even though she was checking on her all the time. So my mom said, "Oh, I don't want Meals on Wheels. That's charity. I don't want to take that from someone who needs it." And my sister said, no, she just wouldn't do it. So finally, my sister said, "Mom, a new restaurant opened in town, and they need someone to review the food and write." And my mom said, "Oh, well, I'd love to help them out." So every day they would drop off Meals on Wheels, and she would give them a review from the day before. Tell them what was wrong with it. Up next, also from Franklin County, we are joined by Pamela Shields. Pamela's favorite song lyric is from a Louis Armstrong song, What a Wonderful World. Now, in that song, oh, Pamela's got a cheering section. No wonder, look at the outfit. In the song, Louis Armstrong sings, no matter what we see, the birds still sing and the wind still blows. There's a lot wrong in the world, but it is still wonderful. Now, those words greatly inspire her outlook and desire to help others. Pamela advocates for community safety, vocalizes neighborhood strategies, work that earned her an invitation to be the Columbus City Council member Emmanuel Remy, who's also here, guest, when presenting at a task force focused on public safety reform. Pamela serves for numerous community organizations, including Age Friendly Columbus, the Near East Side Commission, State Representative Latina Humphreys Senior Advisory Council, the Woodland Park Neighborhood Association, and many more. She founded the Urban Aging Residents Coalition, an organization that prioritizes issues relevant to African American older adults. Pamela has a son, 2 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandson, and so we honor today Pamela Shields.
I'm going to ask Councilman Remy to come over and join me too, maybe say a couple words, take a couple of my seconds. But let me just say, I've known Pam for quite some time, and I just can't think of a more deserving person. And I'm so glad that your family is here to be a part of this recognition. This is, we'll have a plaque for you, and your name will forever be enshrined as part of the history and legacy of Franklin County. But moreover, your impact has personally, I know of it, has personally benefits thousands of people in Central Ohio. And we're so grateful for your leadership and grateful for your contributions. And I'll turn over my time to Councilman Remy.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. It has just been a joy getting to work with Ms. Shields. Her work, with urban aging and with the organizations that she has lifted up and created is nothing short of remarkable. The resources that she brings into the community, the discussion topics. We were just talking about how the chief, when our chief, Elaine Bryant, was first hired, I got the chief to record a message because she couldn't be here in person, from Detroit to the organization, to the group, just saying that she couldn't wait to meet them. But I asked her to be on a panel. I was on a national panel for Reimagining Safety in 2021. Brandon Scott, Mayor Scott from Baltimore, and Mayor Holt from Oklahoma City were the chairs. And it was a very small group of elected leaders from across the country. We wanted a community leader. She stole the show. And basically, everybody on the committee wanted to see if she'd come live in their community. So we really appreciate her dedication and advocacy for seniors here in the city of Columbus. Thank you so much, and it's well deserved.
I'd like to say thank you, and I am probably for the first time in a long time lost for words, because this is a very humbling experience. And when you care about other people more than you care about yourself, when I look at the data that says African Americans who are aging are dying twice as fast as our white counterparts, I can't sit back and not try to change it. So in this space today, we have Dr. Kathy Wright and Dr. DeBacco from OSU and the Age Friendly and all of my commissioners and as well as my council members. I bug them to death, I'll send those emails, and I'm so grateful. And I don't want to leave out my family members who were there with me. I started this in the midst of the pandemic, when our senior group was told, you can no longer come in the building. And many of our friends were dying from COVID-19. This is in 2020. And a 2-year-old toddler had been fatally shot. And I brought all of us together, police officers, the health department, and we stretched out and we said, we're going to change our community and we're going to get healthy. God bless you all. And remember, Louis Armstrong said it best. it's still a wonderful world. Thank you. Okay, can you carry that? Because I need my sister. I have to walk with my sister.
At my son's wedding, we danced to that Louis Armstrong song. Finally, from Franklin County, Dick Wires was nominated by Ohio Living Westminster Thurber. Dick applies his technological expertise for the betterment of his fellow Ohio Living Westminster Thurber residents. When the facility needed a cloud-based system to ensure that residents had access to important information, Dick, along with the Westminster Thurber staff, implemented an online resident portal that provides real-time information. Dick takes the time to ensure his neighbors have access to the portal and even helps those who might not have otherwise used the technology. He's helped residents stream live meetings through devices. He oversaw the installation of modems to address connectivity issues. I would love to be there when he's trying to explain this to people the age of my mother that explain connectivity issues. Dick serves on a number of committees at Westminster Thurber, including technology, health and wellness, supplementary funding. He served as treasurer of the Resident Association for 2 years. His responsibilities included managing and reporting the funds. Dick worked for North American Aviation in thermodynamics and later moved to California to work for a company that developed software for churches and church schools, and now he's using all that skill for his neighbors. Please join me in congratulating Dick Wires.
Let me just say that Central Ohio, as Colleen indicated, is vastly growing, and I chair the Affordable Housing Task Force nationally, where we're discussing all over the country the challenges to address in affordable housing. Embedded in that conversation is the need for senior housing, and so and the need to collect data to use it to learn where we should build housing, how we should build housing, and how we should cater to the current needs of our community. And so I'll tell you, the work that you're doing is going to be crucial in allowing Central Ohio to address the needs of our seniors, not just today, but forever. And so thank you for your work. Thank you for your leadership. It makes a difference. God bless you.
Good afternoon. My journey here was guided by answers to 3 questions. It began more than 70 years ago when family and friends began asking, "What do you want to be?" It turned out I liked to solve problems. I wanted to be an engineer. Later, the question became, "What do you want to do in life?" It became clear I wanted to make a difference. Then came the question, what do you want to do when you retire? I searched for a way to do what I could to help others for as long as I could. Our move to Ohio Living Westminster Thurber Retirement Community has made my hope for a meaningful retirement life possible. We are fortunate that Westminster Thurber's management is dedicated to developing services that allow residents to live independently with dignity. Some of those services involve the use of technology, the appropriate use of which becomes complicated when applied to a community of elders whose experience, aptitude, and comfort with technology varies widely. A group of like-minded independent living residents formed a technology committee. We volunteer as resource partners for management and as resident technology helpers. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that helping would lead to being here to receive an award. It came as a complete surprise, the result of clandestine efforts by 4 members of the Ohio Living Westminster Thurber staff. They're right back there. I will be eternally grateful for their acts of kindness, for the privilege of being here with you, and that what I really wanted to do in retirement is helping others. I close with thanks for some of the many who made being here possible. Thank you to COA for hosting this ceremony. Thank you to Ohio Living Westminster Thurber, to Christine Bush, our Director of Independent Living, for nominating me, to Rachel Klein, our social worker, who did the undercover work that led to my biography, and to Sidney McBride, our Executive Director, Elizabeth Bonfield, our Director of Gift Planning, and to Rachel for contributing their letters of support for the nomination. I would also like to recognize my role model, my dad, who definitely had a hand in the journey. He was an electrical engineer, an inventor who could imagine, create, fix, and teach almost anything. And most important, thank you to my wife, Carol, who donated much of our time together so I would have time to seek answers to technology questions. Thank you.
Dick, I have a remote control I'd like you to come and program for me. Now that I know he's available, I'll be giving him a call. We're going to move on now to Union County. Bob and Jeannie Hildreth of Union County are escorted today by Commissioner David Lawrence. The Hildreths were nominated by the Richwood Civic Center. Bob and Jeannie Hildreth's commitment to their community is immense and is reflected in their frequent volunteer efforts with various organizations, including the Commodity Food Box Day, Personal Needs Pantry, the Richwood Civic Center, and the Richwood Emergency and Assistance Program. The Hildreths make food deliveries to individual homes as part of the Community Food Box Program. They organize and fulfill incoming orders at the Personal Needs Pantry. That's a program that provides personal care, hygiene, and cleaning products to those who need them. As members of the Richwood Civic Center, the Hildreths assist with cleanup for center events, and they take on additional responsibilities, including stocking items for the pantry shelves and directly helping neighbors at the Richwood Green Apartments with food, personal care supplies, household chores, and running errands. They are very busy. Both are members of the Richwood Civic Center Kitchen Band. That's a group that uses various kitchen items to make music. What do you each play? The spoons? You play the washboard. Oh, the washboard. Do you really? And I play spoons. I'm from Appalachia. I know all about that music. They travel to nursing homes and play these eclectic kitchen instruments for residents. That is remarkable. Please join me in congratulating the Hildreths.
This is truly an honor to be here to recognize Bob and Jeannie. They're, I've talked to other people before, and it seems like that kind of work ethic has years past, but that's not the case. I was looking at all the inductees today, and I think you'd agree. But it is really an honor because of their work ethic and the way they volunteer. That's truly an example, not only of the people in Richwood, but just in Union County. It's such a blessing. Now, last Wednesday we did pass a proclamation at the Commissioner's office, but instead of reading it, it was pretty much exactly what Colleen said. So I will just go ahead and present you with this proclamation honoring you for your inductee being inducted to the Hall of Fame. So.
Thank you.
Well, I don't have a speech made up, but I tell you what, this has been such an honor. I just love working with older people. The day we got married, he was working 7 days a week, split shift. He got off work at 12:30 on a Sunday. We got married at 2 o'clock. We went back to work at 4 o'clock. And my dad called it a pit stop wedding, said it would never last, but it's almost 60 years. But he was helping an older lady when we got married. He looked after her, did her laundry for her, did cleaning for her. She wasn't the only one. There's about 3 or 4 elderly couples that we looked after. To this day, as long as we're able, we put flowers on their graves. They have no families left. We are taking care of those as long as we can. And I want to thank our county commissioners, our Civic Center director, Susie Farr, my family for being here with me today. This is such an honor, and thank you all so much.
That's just like my marriage. She did all the talking. Believe me, that's my marriage. Up next, we have Eileen Brenner of Delaware County, escorted. Yeah, go ahead, clap for Eileen. Eileen is escorted by Delaware County Commissioner Jeff Benton. Eileen Brenner was nominated by LOS Community Services. Eileen is one of the original volunteers of LOS. It's an organization established to provide support and resources to suicide loss survivors. As a volunteer, Eileen inspires hope in suicide loss survivors by comforting and supporting them through various stages of grief. Her understanding and gentle nature allows her to connect with survivors and to link them to appropriate resources. She also devotes her time to additional organizations, including Grace Polaris Church, where she volunteers for hospitality events and teaches a special needs class on Sundays. She also has 2 fundraisers each year for the Leukemia Lymphoma Organization in memory of her daughter, who died in 2018 from acute myeloid leukemia. Eileen and her husband Bob are avid hikers and square dancers. Congratulations goes to Eileen today.
Thank you, Eileen. It's a real privilege today. I'm Jeff Benton, one of the county commissioners in Delaware County. We're a fast-growing county. We've got a lot going on. One of the fastest-growing segments of our county is our older adults, and it's really neat to see. We have a very active, very engaged group of older adults. We have an organization called SourcePoint, which provides a home for activities and services provided to our seniors. It's a levy-funded organization. Farah is here today. She's the executive director. A number of her teammates are here. They provide a lot of services and support to the seniors in Delaware County, and we're very proud to do that, and we really think SourcePoint does a great job. But Eileen is just one of hundreds of examples of the seniors who volunteer and put in tremendous hours, doing all sorts of things. It's just great that we can honor her today. So, thank you.
Well, I have lots of thank yous and recognitions today. I want to thank Commissioner Benton for stepping in, taking time out of his year. And I'm sure he has more important things to do, but thank you for sharing today. I want to thank also Stephen Centofanti, I think it's close anyway, and his committee from Central Ohio, AAA as he told us to call it, and for accepting my nomination from LOS Community Services to be a part of and be honored by this. I've just never been honored before in a Hall of Fame, so it's really exciting. So anyway, so rather than focus on me, I want to focus on others. I want to say, how did I get here? Well, thanks to Glenn Stevenson, who's a board member of LOS Community Services, which I will now refer to as LOS. He was made aware of the award through some other volunteer activities he's involved in. He discussed the nomination with Judy Grant, who's our volunteer coordinator, who agreed that I fit the basic criteria. I was definitely over 60, and I was also involved with LOS. Then Judy took on the arduous task. I think completing any form is an arduous task. Making sure the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and submitting my nomination. And with the support of Angela Damon, Executive Director LOS, I am here today. In case you are not familiar with LOS, and you've heard some of what I do, we offer support and hope to those who have lost loved ones to suicide. And although I've lost my daughter to acute myeloid leukemia, I also lost a sister to suicide. So explaining to someone you lose a loved one to an illness is altogether different than saying, oh, by the way. And so we are here to help and support those and help them get through this really trying time. Now I want to round up my other activities. I want to introduce Kathy Wagner, who's my representative from Grace Polaris Church. I have been involved with the special needs ministry for over 30 years. I started with young children. My young children are now adults, and I am still working with them. And Lion President Tim Lee of Worthington Noon Lions. Lion Tim represents my more than 30 years with the Lions organization, which is one of the largest service organizations. And my primary involvement with them is the sensory garden that we have at the Ohio State School for the Blind. And another one, Chris Williams. How would you like this for a title now? Operations and Resource Manager for Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. Get all that on an envelope. And now I'm under his direction and FEMA with 3 organizations I started off with individually, but now they're under FEMA. CERT, CERT, Community Emergency Response Team, MRC, Medical Reserve Corps, which I'm non-medical, and VIPS, Volunteer and Public Safety Support. And these are various areas I've been involved in for over 15 years. And last but not least, my husband, Bob, who not only supports my endeavors, but serves as my alarm clock, especially those days when I have to be up, dressed, out the door by 6 a.m. And unless you're an early riser, which I am not, and ladies and gentlemen, this is me in a nutshell. Thank you so much for your attention.
Congratulations. We have another inductee from Delaware County, Delma Jackson. Delma was nominated by SourcePoint. When reaching the age of 65, Delma sought additional volunteer opportunities, and that led her to SourcePoint. As a SourcePoint volunteer, Delma delivered Glucerna and Ensure, 2 essential nutritional supplements for older adults, to homebound residents that were on her routes. She balances 18 pounds of Ensure in a case and Glucerna on her route. She drives 20, you went the wrong way. Oh no, you were over there already. All right, I was gonna tell you went the wrong way, but we're gonna forgive you. She balances those crates. She drives 20 to 60 miles for each route and has driven, are you ready, nearly 17,000 miles making these deliveries. She volunteered more than 1,100 hours, made more than 1,400 stops over a combined 445 days of service during her time at SourcePoint. Delma was a certified hunting and safety instructor for the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Division of Wildlife, where she volunteered her time to teach people of all ages seeking licenses and re-education. Delma and her husband recently celebrated their 59th wedding anniversary, and they have 3 daughters. Congratulations, Delma, well deserved.
Yeah, again, it's my honor to recognize another one of Delaware County's just outstanding seniors. We get 2 of them inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, and it's just a real tribute to the hundreds of hours and the 17,000 miles driven just for Meals on Wheels. So again, we had a proclamation that we did in session on Monday for both Eileen and Delma, and I won't read it because Colleen's already covered most of it, but again, we on behalf of fellow commissioners Gary Merrill and Barb Lewis, want to congratulate Delma.
There are many wonderful people that volunteer, so I am especially honored to be chosen to receive this award. Everyone needs to be recognized, and I do that for everyone that needs to be recognized. I have to blame this on my husband. He's been doing Meals on Wheels and patient transport for over 18 years. And he said when I retired, why don't you go to Source Point to see if they need some help? I did, and they did, and they're a wonderful organization to work with. The staff is wonderful. Thank you, ladies. And I really enjoy doing what I'm doing, meeting the needs of some of these older citizens. And I plan on continuing this with my 18-pound boxes for a long time. Thank you so much for the award.
We're just gossiping. Up next, we're moving to Licking County. Ruby Hall is escorted by Commissioner Dwayne Flowers. Ruby Hall was nominated by the Middleton Senior Living Center. Generosity and commitment to help others are 2 standout qualities that describe Ruby. She was instrumental in the founding of St. Vincent Haven of Newark, a 26-bed shelter that accommodates homeless men and provides resources to steer them down a path of self-sufficiency. Ruby eagerly took on the task at the shelter, creating the shelter's meal plan and door-to-door canvassing to obtain needed supplies. Over the years, she has taken time to get to know many of the men and share their stories. She listened with an open mind and shared heartfelt advice. Ruby also volunteered at the Licking County Community Center, where she is involved in organizing several events essential to helping older adults maintain active social lives. Ruby has been a member of the Church of St. Edward's the Confessor for more than 20 years, where she's greatly involved in church activities. She was awarded Catholic Woman of the Year by the Diocese of Columbus for all of her work with the church. Congratulations to Ruby Hall.
It is an honor to be with all of you here today. You are special people. Ruby, how you doing? Good. When I first read your biography and completed it, my mind went and reflected back to the first paragraph. It says, if you ask someone to name 2 standout qualities about Ruby Hall, they would say, number 1, her generosity that is expressed through her extensive volunteer work in her community, and number 2, her commitment and passion for helping others under any circumstance. That says it all. That's what we all strive for as individuals. Ruby, that paragraph tells me that you understand the fruits of the Holy Spirit. We are here today to recognize you and others for the accomplishments in helping others. I know you'll be receiving a plaque today. You'll also be receiving a certificate from the 3 Licking County Commissioners, myself, Commissioner Tim Bubb, and Commissioner Rick Black. Ruby, on behalf of the Licking County Commissioners, we are honored to have you represent our county, our agencies, and other people by receiving this award. We thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. I'm not much of a speaker in groups of people, so this is going to be short. I am humbled by this, and I am very proud to receive this. The interest I had in the homeless shelter was because I went for a drive one evening and got lost. And I got lost driving in and out of under the bridges of Licking County along the train tracks. And I couldn't figure out what all these people were doing that were just there. And I said, well, so I was talking to a couple of them that were off by themselves, and they told me this is where they live. And I was in shock that in a town that to me was as rich as Licking County is, that there would be that many people living under train tracks. So I went back to church and talked to a couple of the different organizations in the church and put some people together, and they went out and did the approvals and land information and all of that. And one thing after another just happened, and I love it there. I love the men that are there. I used to bring them home with me sometimes, and they used to help me with my husband. So I just can't thank you guys enough, and thank you again.
Congratulations. Up next, Charlie and Darlene Weaver of Pickaway County. They are escorted by Pickaway County Advisory Council member to COAAA John Ankrum. The Weavers were nominated by past Hall of Fame inductees Dick Fisher and Jane Shaw. Charlie and Darlene are passionate about preserving Pickaway County's history. They both volunteer at the Pickaway County Historical Society's Clark May Museum and at the Pickaway County Historical and Genealogical Library. Darlene, who is the unpaid director at the library, helps people with their family trees, their artifacts, assists with cemetery restoration, and provides historical articles and programs for the public. And she undertook a massive effort of indexing Pickaway County's common pleas and probate court records. Good luck with that. Work that ultimately saved residents from conducting extensive research. Charlie offers maintenance at the Genealogical Library, where he makes frames, book return shelves, hangs photos, and helps with the displays. He is a current member and past president of the Soldiers Monumental Society. That's an association that resets markers and repairs and maintains local veterans' graves. What a great project. The Weavers devote their time to their church, Emmett Chapel United Methodist, where Charlie is treasurer for the Sunday school and Darlene is a worship leader. Both help with church and fundraising efforts. Congratulations to the Weavers.
It's my pleasure to represent County Commissioners to present this award to Charlie and Darlene. I recently joined the COAAA Advisory Council, thanks to Dick Fisher, and I'm learning about the tremendous job they do. So I think we all owe a big debt of gratitude to COAAA for the things they do in our area. Pickaway County has a rich history. Hopefully some of you know it. Our county seat was founded within prehistoric Indian earthworks. Just south of town was a tree where Chief Logan gave impassioned speech about the nature of the Indians. Just south of that, just a stone's throw from there, my grandmother and grandfather started their household about 150 years ago. So go back a long way. And how do I know all those things? It's because of Charlie and Darlene Weaver. If we didn't have a historical society, if we didn't have a genealogical library, we wouldn't know those things. And so we appreciate the countless effort and hours that Charlie and Darlene have put in. Most recently, I worked with Charlie. I'm an architect, and I worked with Charlie to do an addition to the Historical Society to help provide space for all the items that come in on a daily basis. And all those items get cataloged and recorded, inventoried, presented by Charlie and Darlene, and several other members that help as well. So we appreciate all that effort, and it's my privilege to honor you today. Charlie and Darlene Weaver.
Our questionnaire didn't address this, but we have 3 daughters, Jane, Beth, and Melody, who are here today. And we want to say thanks to Dick Fisher and Jane Shaw for our nomination. We truly do appreciate it.
I would like to thank everybody associated with this organization for the award. It is humbling. Darlene got me involved in this, and I'll blame her for it, and I'll blame Dick and Jane for standing here, and we'll talk about that later. But I've run into so many people who will tell you when they're retired, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't look. They don't look at all, because there's more things out there for people to do than you could ever imagine. And thanks to this lady, I've been busy for the last 23 years. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to both of you. We have another couple up next, David D. and Kathy Mowry of Fairfield County. They're escorted today by Fairfield County Commissioner David Levesey. Dee and Kathy Mowry were nominated by the Fairfield County Auditor, Dr. Carrie Brown. Dee and Kathy are inspirational to many people who know them. They have both shown genuine dedication through their volunteer work. Both are elders and members of Bremen Bethel Presbyterian Church, where they volunteer for and are members of the church's Scholarship Fund Committee. Dee serves as the church's clerk of session. Kathy is treasurer. Kathy organizes the church's Breakfast to Go program that provides free breakfast to Bremen Elementary School students. And between 2013 and 2021, approximately 43,000 breakfast bags were provided to students. Kathy was also the first woman elected judge in Fairfield County. She served as judge in the Domestic Relations Division of Fairfield County's Court of Common Pleas. Dee is professor emeritus at Ohio University, where he taught courses in biological science for 53 years. Throughout his career, he received many awards and honors for his exceptional teaching abilities. Dee also serves on various boards for numerous community organizations. Kathy and Dee have been married for 48 years. They have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. Congratulations to the Mowrys.
So over the last many years, I've had the privilege of attending these events. And not only have we had some amazing people from Fairfield County, but we've had some real amazing people throughout Central Ohio. And I've had the honor of listening to all their history, if you will. But today we're here to honor Professor Dee Mowry and Judge And the judge, Dee actually says, well, if you haven't, I take my lawyer with me wherever I go. But when I first started attending, I didn't need his cane, and now I do. But what a privilege it is to honor these two folks today. I actually worked a little bit on Kathy's campaign as she decided to run for judge in Fairfield County Domestic Relations. And she made a great judge while she was there, just wonderful. But we passed a proclamation, which I'm presenting to them. I won't read it because most of it's already been said. But I also have with me today Dr. Carrie Brown, who's a Fairfield County Auditor, and she'd like to say a few things as well. Thank you.
Hi, I first met Professor Mowry when I was 17 years old. I was attending Ohio University, and I said, good morning to Dr. Mowry, Professor Mowry. And I said, good morning. And he said, it's nice to see you. I said, it's so nice to see you. And then he said, it's so much nicer to be seen than to be viewed. And then from that moment on, every time I saw Professor Mowry, he had a joke, he had a little bit of humor, and I learned to understand in life that even when things become quite complex, it's so important to keep a sense of humor. And then I later got to meet Kathy Mowry in a professional capacity, and she taught me another lesson, that it's so important that when things are complex to try to make them simple. And together they taught me something that was wonderful about life, that there are really only two simple rules, two simple commandments: to love God and to love one another, and that's how you can solve the big problems, whether they're personal, professional, things in your community. And our whole community has witnessed that type of love and heart for service that they each have. And I'm so deeply appreciative of them and of all of you, because if we solve any problems, we need these types of examples.
I just want to take a couple of moments and thank Carrie Brown, longtime friend, former boss, mentor, just an all-around nice lady, for taking time to be here, and for Dave Levesey, the county commissioner, whom we've known each other, and he worked on my campaign. He really did. I appreciate that and appreciate the time that you took to be here today. And I would like to introduce my children, David and Joan. Mean an awful lot to us, and we love you both. Actually, I bet everybody in this room, whether you're an inductee or not, has been a volunteer somewhere, sometime. And I would say probably you didn't do it for the recognition, but it's awfully nice to know it's appreciated. Thank you all.
Thank you, Derry. I want to tell you something. As a college prof, it's nice to have a student who'll still speak to you after they've been in your class. Carrie, thanks a lot in there. And thank you, Uncle Dave, all those nice things you said about me, too. So, all right, settle back. You got a college prof. 48 minutes, and away we go. So, no, actually, I'm still teaching 2 classes at Ohio University, but I'm slowing down. I used to teach 10 different classes. So, but you know, this is quite an honor. And thanks, Carrie, for all those nice things you said. But you always lied a lot, but that's okay. One other thing I want to mention, through all that stuff that they wrote, most of it was true. One thing that's going on right now, though, is that last Friday, I was at the shrine in Columbus, which is now Grove City. And I have the privilege of being president of the ASHAC, which is Aladdin Shrine Hospital Corporation for Children. Last Friday, we gave away $600,000. $300,000 went to the hospitals, and the rest of it went to local fire departments, went to schools, went to hospitals, and other things. So we're still at it, still working. I'm still giving other people's money away. So thank you, Colleen.
Now we have from Madison County, Tom Lawrence, escorted by Madison County Deputy Administrator David Kell. Tom Lawrence was nominated by the Madison County Senior Citizens Center. Tom pays it forward every day. It's a mindset he lives by. especially after experiencing a turning point 4 years ago when he received a heart transplant. He doesn't take life for granted, makes an effort each day to serve others. For more than 9 years, Tom has volunteered for Donate Life Ohio. That's a coalition dedicated to educating Ohioans about organ donation. He received the Ambassador Award from Donate Life Ohio. Tom also volunteers for the Madison County Senior Citizen Center in the center's cafe. He often takes the opportunity to promote the cafe throughout the community. Tom and his wife Betty have been married for 49 years. They have 3 children, 13 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. Congratulations to Tom.
Good afternoon. I'm here on behalf of the Madison County Commissioners, and I'm honored to be here. And they prepared a quick statement. Giving one's time, energy, and resources to worthwhile efforts and causes in Madison County is valued highly by Madison County residents. In the Madison County community, it is clearly understood donating time and resources to important efforts and causes will enhance the quality of life for both citizens in the community and the person who is donating. Mr. Lawrence is an individual who has served the community every day, which in the grand scheme of things goes a long way towards making Madison County a great place to live, work, and spend time. So I'm honored to be here, and congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Whoops. First, I want to thank Dave for introducing me. I want to thank Misty Bradley for nominating me from Madison County Senior Center. I've also here for the grace of God because he gave me other things to do when he saved my life 4 years ago. I'd like to thank my family that's all here today with me. It's my wife of 49 years, Betty, my children, which Michael's not here, my daughter, Melissa, and Scott Lawrence and his wife, Katie. Also like to say hi and to all my grandkids and grandchildren and great-grandkids. Also, I would like to shout out to some of my friends that's here with me today that took the trip. Donna Sheraton, she works with me at the cafe. She's there every day just like I am, and she's a good asset to it. She helps us out. I want to thank everybody at the Madison County Senior Center. All of them are great people, fantastic, and people I work with every day there help me out, all the other kitchen workers and the volunteers with me every day. I've got some great friends with me today I asked to come. That's Steve Skaggs and Beth Skaggs. I've known them both Steve for 40 years. Another great friend, John Hopkins, Hoppy. We've known each other through EMS and firework while I did that. Also, I'd like to just shout out to Donate Life. I do a lot of work for them. I try to promote them, try to sign up donors all the time when I can. I do that a lot on the weekends and whenever I can for them. Also, I would like to thank COAAA for having this and just having this award. I'm so honored, kind of humbled about it and everything else. So I just want to thank everybody. Oh, and I got to thank my brothers and sisters in my church that's got me through a lot too and helped me out a lot. So I thank everyone. Hope everybody enjoyed the day today. Thank you.
Well, the last is certainly not the least. We're going to have now Joanne Boysel of Fayette County join us, escorted by Jim Garland, the Fayette County Commissioner. Joanne Boysel was nominated by Joy Stanforth. Joanne Boysel has volunteered at the Rose Avenue Community Center in Washington Courthouse since it was founded, and she is instrumental in the success of the center. She oversees the Meals on Wheels program at the center, ensuring that people are nourished during trying times, whether it's cooking for families mourning the loss of a loved one, children needing a meal after school, or hungry individuals who have no other place to turn. Joanne can be relied on for emotional strength. Along with feeding after-school students, Joanne also helps them with arts and crafts, and even serves as a grandmother figure, being someone they can confide in. Joanne was awarded for her work in 2017 and 2018 for 2 fundraisers at a camp that helps children with special needs. She also received a Christian Education Award for her work in outreach ministry. Please congratulate Joanne for all her hard work.
I'm honored here to be able to present this proclamation to Joanne. She's very dedicated in Central Ohio. She's one of the, all of you are all good that got this award today, and she is fits up there right with them and just very, very deserving. If you read her bio, she's very deserving of this. We at Fayette County, with the other 2 commissioners, Dan Dean and Tony Anderson, are very proud to have Joanne in our county to help all the things she's done. She's just done a wonderful job, and we go back some of the things she has done in our county in the past. We didn't cross paths all that much, but we did. We didn't know it. But she's very dedicated with her. So the commissioners, as of last Monday, did like most of you did. We had a proclamation dedicating this to her. So I love how you guys are doing it. I'm not going to read it. You can read it. We all want to go home. We got better things to do. So congratulations.
Well, I didn't write no speech or anything, but I just want to, first of all, thank God for leading me into the services that I do. I really enjoy them, and I'm proud to be honored, and I want to thank my family, my friends, and Joy for nominating me. And I think this is wonderful, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to congratulate everybody else that has been nominated. It's quite a pleasure and quite an honor. I thank you.
I think we can all agree that the people in the bios we heard today really is remarkable, and such, again, laying the groundwork for the success and the progress of this community. I really sincerely congratulate each and every one of you, but more than that, I thank you. Thank you for what you've done for Central Ohio. You deserve the recognition, and I'm going to turn it back over to Katie now. Thank you.
Colleen, thank you so much for not only being here, but for making things fun and keeping it entertaining, and just such a wonderful job. Your voice is so calming to me. So what a wonderful way to spend the afternoon. This is my first time attending this event, and I will really leave this afternoon just thinking about each and every one of you and the incredible work that you've done. And this really is living, this really is aging, right? And so as we think about pushing the boundaries of how individuals envision aging, envision older years in life, this is it. It's giving, it's community, it's connection, it's giving thanks. So just truly inspired by each and every one of you. Events like this take a lot of work, and so it's absolutely necessary to take a moment and recognize everything that went into today. So if you're a COAAA staff member, can you please stand for a moment, and can we give everyone, give those staff members a round of applause? And in particular, Steve, thank you so much. You have got this down to a science. What a beautiful afternoon and a beautiful event. So thank you so much. I also want to thank our elected officials for attending, sending proclamations, and joining us in this celebration and celebrating older adults across Central Ohio. And of course, want to thank our sponsors, Medigold, Life Care Alliance, Simply Easy, and Senior Times for their generous contributions. And to those who nominated, to those who attended, and most of all, to all of you honored today, thank you. Let's end the afternoon with one last round of applause and congratulations to our honorees.